Well, when I reviewed the Q50 when it first came out a few years ago, I went out on a limb and I got some criticism because I said it might be the class leader in terms of design and advanced features, and it had a lot of power with that base 3.7 liter V6 engine. Well, things have changed with the competition, and things are changing for 2016 with this Q50. What I like is the fact they didn't change the outside. This is a really nice looking car. I love the proportions, I love the angles, I love everything about it, so that stays the same. What has changed though is a much broader range of engine choices. So gone is the 3.7 liter. Now you can get a 2 liter turbocharged 4-cylinder and 2 versions of their 3 liter turbocharged engine with 300 horsepower, or this car, 400 horsepower. So we're in San Antonio, Texas. We're gonna get a chance to do some dynamic slalom course driving with this car and find out if it's up to the task. Well, we're heading to the dynamics course, but before we get there, I want to tell you what's changed with the engine lineup. And a big change for the base model car is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Now, if you look at the competition, BMW, Mercedes, and on, they all have 2 liter turbocharged direct injection engines. Now we have that in this Q50, and it's thanks to Mercedes-Benz. It's the same 4-cylinder engine that they use in the B class, the CLA, the GLA. It's used extensively, and they've got a relationship here with Infiniti, and that's the engine that's in this car. It is 208 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque, which is a sizable amount of torque. And I've driven that engine many times in the Mercedes products, and it is a good entry-level engine. And it goes through a 7-speed gearbox, but not Mercedes box. This is Infiniti's box. That one is a dual clutch. This one is a good old-fashioned torque converter, which a lot of people like the drive of a regular automatic versus a dual clutch, even though some people like the crispness of a dual clutch. It really depends on what you like. But the bigger change is they've gotten rid of the 3.7 liter V6, and now they have a 3 liter, and it's turbocharged in 2 flavors. There's a 300 horsepower version and a 400 horsepower version. And we've seen this from other manufacturers. They have the same engine. Jaguar does it with their supercharged engine, same engine, but different output. Now, one of the advantages of going to a twin turbo 3 liter V6 instead of the 3.7, it's lighter. It's 18 kilograms lighter. That's a good thing. Plus, you get a lot more torque. 295 pound-feet of torque with the 300 horsepower version and 350 pound-feet of torque with the 400 horsepower version. Now, some of you might be thinking, well, can't you just buy the 300 horsepower version and then tweak the pressure in the turbos? Well, no. They're different turbochargers, different cooling system, and Infiniti says that's not going to be easy to do. So here at the Dynamics course, they put us in cars without the direct adaptive steering, and now we're in cars that have it. So how do you get that in Canada? So cars that have the 3 liter turbocharged engine, the 300 horsepower versions, it's optional. On the 400 horsepower car, the Red Sport, it's standard. Good to go? Okay. So first of all, we're going through in standard mode. So what you have here is a steering system that is going to adapt as you drive, and it does a lot of the work for you. And also you have a dynamic chassis, stiffens up the chassis and gives you more responsive ride by dampening the valves. So first run through with the adaptive system and with the chassis system on normal mode, and away we go. All right. Now, one thing I should say is all of the cars that we have here are all US spec cars, meaning they're rear-wheel drive, where in Canada, all of these Q50s will be all-wheel drive. Now, right away, the ratio of the steering is quicker than the standard car, and the weight feels different. Now, that's also done inside the steering control module. You can change the weight of the steering depending on your preference. All right, so that's one kind of lap with it in normal mode. The next time we go around, it's going to be in Sport Plus. It firms up the chassis and makes the car even more responsive. Good to go in Sport Plus?
Yes, you are.
Okay, here we go. Let's set up. You can get the back end to step out quite easily. Now, that's one thing I should say, is that with the all-wheel drive cars in Canada, they call it a rear-wheel bias system, meaning that it's going to send most of the power to the back wheels to give you that performance feel, where in the US you can get just a rear-wheel drive car, but that's fun.
The second instructor down there,
Yeah?
told him that the avalanche sucked.
Okay. The avalanche?
Yeah, Colorado avalanche.
Oh, the avalanche, okay. I thought you meant the truck.
No.
Sorry about the cone. I have to give something to do, right?
Yeah, right? He's good.
Okay, good.
You ready?
Yep.
All right.
And all 400 horsepower underneath your right foot is a lot. This is a great engine. I'm really enjoying this. This is a lot of fun. I love the way it lets you just drift out the back end of that car. That's good stuff. Sylvain has a message. He says the Avalanche suck. Hey, what's your reply?
I mean, what can you say? They're so good, so bad, so good, so bad. I mean,
And your coach is from ex-Hab, so.
well,
what
see,
do-
that's what he's bitter about, right?
Yeah.
He shows up and just immediately gives us 2 easy Stanley Cups after they leave Quebec.
So you know what you need to say? I think we should say, thanks for Patrick Waugh.
Absolutely.
Okay, is that it?
And the 2 Stanley Cups.
And the 2 Stanley Cups.
Yes.
Okay.
Thanks,
Okay.
Sylvain. For
All right.
that
That's good.
shenanigans.
This is fun. I always love this stuff. This is a fun car. I just love it. It's really nicely balanced. You can toss it around with the power. You can hold the throttle and get some fun. This is good. All right. His reply is, thank you for Patrick Waugh and for 2 Stanley Cups.
Okay, yeah.
Because Quebec built that team and then handed it off to them.
I know. We were the last part they need. Was Patrick Waugh, I know. Good job.
It's great that they have more engines available now. That 2-liter that's shared with Mercedes-Benz and their new 3-liter turbocharged engine with a huge amount of power with this 400 horsepower version. And it is a lot of fun to drive. And I was originally criticized for talking about that drive-by-wire steering, but you have to try it. Don't just be a naysayer. Try it out for yourself and see that it really does deliver. This is the future. This is where it's going in terms of autonomous driving and electric systems. Then you add on the chassis control that's now been embedded in this car and 400 horsepower. It is a riot. So the Q50 looks good. Now it drives even better. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. If you'd like to watch a full review of the all-new Jaguar XF, click the picture on the left.